Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Today I thought we would touch on crickets because we seem to see an awful lot of stuff on the groups on Facebook and things like this about people complaining that they can't keep their crickets alive for very long. And it got me thinking, we actually, because of our mossy frogs and bits and pieces, we do actually use quite a few crickets now. We never used to use many at all. So we used to always get by with our roaches, which I still prefer as a staple diet for our spiders. But that being said, there's an awful lot of people that actually just use crickets to keep their spiders going as well. And so I thought what we would do is we are going to have a little look at how we keep our crickets, and we keep them for weeks on end. Now we do keep adding to them as we go along. So basically what we do here is we buy in around about 1,000 crickets every 14 days. Yeah, we have a delivery every 14 days of 500 medium crickets and 500 large crickets, and then we also have 2 boxes of like small crickets as well. Now this is a staple order that we have every 14 days. They come in. So what we do is when we get them, we keep all of our large crickets and our sort of medium crickets. They go in one of these bins here that you can see here. Now these are exactly the same bins that we use for our roaches. And then what we do, they come in a bag. So we buy them in a bag. That's the cheapest way to buy them. And then they have one of these corrugated egg crates in each bag. Now each bag will contain 500. In our case, it would be 500. And then what we do is we put bran on the bottom.
Same as that.
Exactly the same as our roaches. And then all we do is we empty them out, and you can see there that our crickets are doing really, really well. Look, they're loving life. And you can see they're all nice and healthy. Now the most important thing to do is when you're keeping your crickets is to keep them dry. And you notice this is absolutely bone dry, and it's most important that you keep it dry. If it starts to go damp, then they don't like it, and they start keeling over. So if you want to keep your crickets alive, keep them dry. We also keep a little bit of food in there as well, which is just our chicken pellets. And then what we do is we give them greens as well. Now the important thing is that we don't overdo it on the greens. So in here we have got roughly 1,000 crickets. These only came in yesterday, so we've got about 1,000 crickets. So we've got our greens here, and all we do is we sprinkle them out on the bottom like that. And that is more than enough. We don't want to put any more in than that. Now, they will soon find that, and they will be thirsty. So when they first come in, generally, they're very, very thirsty. So we give them a little bit of greens. They will come in, they will munch them greens up, and this will rehydrate our crickets, which is the best thing for our spiders, because now our spiders are getting crickets that are of decent hydrated form. You know, they're actually got fluids in them. And also because we feed our chicken pellet as well, then we are basically gut loading all of our crickets, and this can only benefit your spiders. And it means that going forward, you know that all your spiders are getting the best possible food, because unfortunately, although these guys are fed in the places that actually produce them, they produce them by the millions, they're not always the best quality when they're put in the boxes. And if you imagine if your box has been on the shelf in the pet shop for a couple of days, they're not getting any fluids, they're not getting anything at all. So it's really important that we hydrate our crickets if we want to get the very, very best out of them. And this is the easiest way to do it. So on a larger scale, we have 1,000 crickets in here. This is what we do with this. Now I can hear you all going, yeah, but I haven't got as many spiders as Dave's got. So, or frogs, yeah.
Don't forget me mosses.
So what do we do when we go to the shop and we buy a single box of crickets? So this is how you buy them in the shop. Now for some people, one box of crickets is too much. There is just too many crickets in there for the amount of spiders that they keep. So we keep them in exactly the same way as we do our larger ones, but we just keep it in a smaller tub. So for these, the reason we keep these ones separate from them ones is because we use these for some of our slings, some of our very, very small spiders. And it just means it is easier for us to be able to take this, catch them individually and put them into our tubs rather than chasing them around in that big box there. So we do exactly the same. So if you're going to the shop, you buy one box of crickets, that's all you get. It doesn't matter whether they're large, small, whatever. This is how we keep them. So we literally have just a very, very thin coating of bran on the bottom. Now you can use anything you like. The bran is not important.
Cool.
Basically, yeah, I need a drink. We just got in from work. Basically, the bran is just there to stop them from sweating. We don't want them getting damp, remember. We must keep them dry. So this box has got air holes all in the side. It's only an old broken box, you see, so we're making use of it rather than throwing it away. We've got a lid that's got some holes in it as well. So we put that in there. We put our little tub of chicken pellet in there as well. And then what we do is we just very, very simply, this is the bit actually, you might want to do this in the bath or somewhere like that, because we normally end up with a few jumping out all over the place. Now you will notice in here we've got them pesky little flies. So hopefully they will disappear when we put them in. So we literally just put that in. Now these little guys do hop really, really well. So there we go. So there's one. And what we do is we leave these sections of egg crate in here. It's important that our crickets get some what we class as real estate, somewhere good for them to walk around on. So what we do is we just pop that in. Try not to shake them about too much, and we don't lose that many, you see. There you go, we're in. Now as you can see in there is a lot of crickets. So if I put that over here, you'll be able to have a proper look. There you go.
You don't need to be down there, babe.
Well, making it easy for you, because you are a little bit short. So there you go. So there's all our crickets. Now then, we can do these exactly the same. These guys need rehydrating as well. So we've got 2 boxes of medium crickets in there. That's an awful lot of crickets. But bear in mind, we want to keep this dry. So what we do is we literally just put a small amount. That is enough. We don't want no more than that. We just put in a small amount, and they will munch away and get on that straight away. As you can see now, they're already climbing onto it now, and they will start feeding. Now what we can do, that is literally just a couple of leaves there. What we're looking for is we want them leaves to have all disappeared within the next hour or two. And we don't want to see any more leaves. If you look down here, you can see they're on this one already. Look, if you come down the side here, you see they're on that bit already. You can see where they're chewing away at it. It won't take them long, and they will literally demolish this. And then that way, by tomorrow, we will have lovely gut-loaded, hydrated crickets ready to feed in to our frogs and our spiders. And then all we do is because we get it in every 14 days, we just clean the tubs out each time, throw away all the old stuff that's in there, throw away the egg crate, and then we can replace it with the new egg crate that's coming in with the new ones. You can see all them guys down there now. You see how they're already on it. They have absolutely massive appetites. They really will. They'll demolish this green stuff in no time at all. So this is basically how we keep them. Now we can basically on this small tub here. This is ideal for people that have only a few spiders. And if you buy one box of crickets, try and find out wherever you buy your crickets, whether it's in a proper reptile shop or Pets at Home, wherever. It doesn't matter where you get them from, really. But the most important thing is to find out when their actual delivery day is. And try and get your crickets the day that the shop gets them in, and in that way you stand the best chance of having the strongest crickets possible, and you will also end up with a full box, so you won't get any dying off. And then that way you can do is you can bring them home. These in here will last easily a month in here without any issues at all, as long as we just keep them dry. You must keep them dry. If you get any dampness in there, you need to empty them out, change it, put it back. We use bran on them because it's cheap and very effective. If you can't get hold of bran, you can use soil. That's another good thing with crickets. You can keep them on soil.
It's like bedding, like using rabbits and stuff.
Not really, no. Okay. Basically what we want to do is we want to keep them, whatever we keep on the bottom needs to be dry. So if you're going to use soil, you need to dry it out. You don't want it damp. You try and dry it out and they will last a lot longer.
Cocoa fibre?
Yeah, cocoa fibre is a bit on the other side. That's a little bit too dusty. So if we put that in there, it will work. It all depends. But all you want is the very barest minimum in there, because what happens is once these guys are eating and they're taking in the green food, they will defecate. And then that will, you know, eventually it's all going in there. And when you got what we got in here, probably 400 little crickets all taking a poo every 2 seconds, it's, yeah, it adds up to a lot of mess. So we need to try and keep it dry. That is the most important thing with crickets, keeping them dry. So hopefully now you can see you can actually start to save money, you know, because crickets, I think most places now are about £2.30, £2.50 a box. And you know, we see all the time people using a couple of crickets and then their boxes are dead. And it's because in these boxes that they come in, they don't survive too well, you know. So just give them a little bit of room, which is why we give them the box, and it gives them that much more space. If you find you've got more than you need in there, you can always add another piece of stuff, and that will sort of like spread them out. The more places they've got to move around, the cleaner they will stay and the happier they'll be, which means hopefully they'll live a little bit longer as well. So that is how we keep our crickets, and it saves us an absolute fortune. So we've got our greens here now. We are going to finish off and we're going to run through and feed all our roaches. Make sure everyone there is happy. Our crickets are done now, so that's good. Yes, and hopefully if you follow these lines, you too will end up with top quality food for your favourite spiders. Well, for all your spiders really, not just your favourite ones. All your spiders. And your frogs if you've got any. Right then. Well, I hope that little video was useful, and don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.